Hi and welcome back to Man vs Film. This is a top 10 list of movies that you can watch right now on Netflix US for the month of November 2019. Let's get started. Number 10, Train to Busan. Sok Woo, a father with not much time for his daughter Suan, are boarding the KTX, a fast train that shall bring them from Seoul to Busan. But during their journey, the apocalypse begins, the most of Earth's population becoming flesh-craved zombies. While the KTX is shooting towards Busan, the passengers fight for their families and lives against the zombies and each other. Train to Busan is one of the best zombie movies of recent years, and putting it on a train just makes it even more fantastic because I kind of love train movies as well. But this driving force they have to get from cabin to cabin, trying to get to safety while battling these zombies is terrific. You get a host of characters that are wonderful, and it never goes the way you're going to think it will. You know, you have the bad guy, the hero, the typical people, but they die out of typical order. You know, a Hollywoodized version would have the hero making all the way through the end. Whereas in this one, he dies within the first 30 minutes of the movie. We're put into this relationship of a father and daughter who's rather estranged. And throughout the movie, they're going to come a little bit closer and hopefully make it to safety. There is fantastic tension and suspense in this amazing zombie movie. Number 9, Free Fire. Steve-O and Bernie are driving to meet two IRA members, Chris and Frank. The group meet outside a Boston warehouse where they will wait with intermediary Justin. The group is there to buy guns from arms dealer Vernon and his associates. Despite tensions between the two groups and the fact that Vernon supplied the wrong weapons, Chris's group secure the weapons in a van and hand over the money in a briefcase. But then things get out of hand. Free Fire is a fairly simple movie. Two various groups meet up to do a gun deal, things go awry, and a shootout happens for the next 80 minutes. And there's a kind of fantastic simplicity to this kind of movie. It knows what it wants to be. It just wants to be an engaging, fun shootout that's entertaining, and it achieves that. We get quirky, fun moments, we get lots of scenes of levity where horrible things happen, but they're just kind of funny. They tickle the funny bone in just the right way. We get some fun performances. Armie Hammer is terrific. My kind of standout within this movie. The action is exceedingly fun and well staged, and this is a kind of movie that you may just miss zip by. But if you're looking for a 90-minute comedy action movie, this has got everything that you need. Number 8, The Island. Set in a dystopian future, a group of people work in a facility, essentially as slaves. They do have an incentive though. A regular lottery is held and one of them gets to leave the facility and its restrictions to move to the island, a paradise. Lincoln 6 Echo is one of the workers in the facility and he is infatuated with Jordan 2 Delta. His life is fairly uneventful and mundane until Jordan 2 Delta gets selected to go to the island. Then Lincoln starts to discover the truth about the facility and this fabled island. One of Michael Bay's kind of lesser successful movies, which is a real shame because I think it is fantastic, starring Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson as clones that are to be harvested for organs for their rich owners, but who escape this mythology into the real world and are just wanting to survive. They just want to live, but this evil corporation who wants money more than anything will stop at nothing to make sure that they do not get the freedom they want. This has got some great action set pieces in it, some terrific direction from Bay, and a really engaging main character couple of McGregor and Johansson. Number 7, Bad Boys. Marcus Burnett is a henpecked family man. Mike Lowry is a footloose and fancy-free ladies man. Both are Miami policemen and both have 72 hours to reclaim a consignment of drugs stolen from under their station's nose. To complicate matters, in order to get the assistance of the sole witness to a murder, they have to pretend to be each other. With the trailer for Bad Boys for Life dropping, I went back and revisited Bad Boys, a movie that is just pure joy, another Michael Bay movie, and before he got a little bit oversaturated with some of the silly technical aspects that he wanted to put into his later movies. This focuses mainly on the characters of Martin Lawrence and Will Smith and has some fantastically well staged action and just creates a fun environment for everything to play out. This movie still holds up today and I'm hoping the sequel captures just a little bit of that magic. Number 6, The Game Changers. A UFC fighter's world is turned upside down when he discovers an elite group of world-renowned athletes and scientists who prove that everything he'd been taught about protein was a lie. I kind of love these dietitian documentaries that I stumble across every now and again. This one puts to the fact that humans shouldn't really be eating meat and lays out why they think that. And I think it's quite engaging, it's quite thought-provoking, and it's something that I think everybody else should check out. It does make you consider your diet, and it's amazing to see what some people can achieve by doing things, say, against the grain. The way we've been taught may not be the right way. Interesting enough, and definitely one that's captivating enough to recommend. Number 5, Trainspotting, a wild, free-form, rebellious trip through the darkest recesses of Edinburgh lowlife, focusing on Mark Renton and his attempt to give up his heroin habit and how the latter affects his relationship with his family and friends. Sean Connery wannabe sick boy, Dim, Spud, psycho Begbie, 14-year-old girlfriend Diane, and clean-cut athlete Tommy, who's never touched drugs but can't help but be curious about them. Trainspotting is one of my favourite movies. I just think it is absolutely fantastic. It has such energy and gusto and just goes for it. It is a terrifically downbeat movie that has this high octane energy and excitement to watching it. Even though the subject matter is horrid and torrid, this is a fantastic movie. Now, of course, you could say it's just because I'm Scottish that I have an affinity for it, but it could be that it's just a damn good movie as well. If you haven't seen it, please check this one out. Number 4, Fractured. Driving home after a tense holiday weekend with his in-laws, Ray Monroe, a well-meaning but overwhelmed family man, pulls into a rest area with his wife Joanne and daughter Perry. The trip takes a turn for the worse when Perry is hurt in an accident and the family rushes to a nearby emergency room, run by staff with dubious intentions. After being sent away for further testing, Perry and Joanne vanish and all records of their visit disappear. Ray's concern turns into a desperate race to find his family and discover the truth of what happened to them. I really enjoyed Fractured. I found it was a movie that felt familiar because it does follow certain tropes and certain ideas and plot points that other movies have travelled before them, but it twists and turns it in a novel way. It has this layered sensibility about it. It has a great performance at the heart of it. It has some twists and turns. It has moments that made me go, well, it's going to be A, oh no wait, it's going to be B, oh no wait, it's going to go back to that. And I could never quite get a firm grip on where I thought the story was going to go, which was refreshing. The movie, it moved me from one vantage point to another. It flipped and flopped constantly, and it's really good to have a movie that can manipulate you like that and still have an ending that's worthwhile. Number 3, Dolomite Is My Name. Stung by a string of showbiz failures, floundering comedian Rudy Ray Moore has an epiphany that turns into a word-of-mouth sensation. Step on stage as someone else, borrowing from the street mythology of the 70s Los Angeles, Moore assumes the persona of Dolomite, a pimp with a cane and an arsenal of obscene fables. However, his ambition exceeding selling bootleg records deemed too racy for mainstream radio stations to play, Moore convinces a social justice-minded dramatist to write his alter ego a film incorporating kung fu, car chases and horny women. Eddie Murphy gives an outstanding performance as Rudy Ray Moore in this kind of engaging movie. It's all about people trying to buck the system, trying to make a success of themselves when everybody else is telling them that they can't do it. It's not going to work. They have to give up their dreams and move on. They have this relentlessness, this drive to succeed, and to see it come to fruition is just so fantastic. To see the obstacles they come up against, to see the hurdles that they overcome is just wonderful. To see this group of people become a family as they work together for the success that they quite rightly deserve. And it's all done with these amazing performances of characters. Eddie Murphy is the lead performer as Rudy Ray Moore, and he just gives one of his best performances this century as this character, this eternal optimist who just will not be beaten down by this wave of negativity that comes his way. I think this is a terrific movie for anybody, regardless as to whether you've seen Dolomite or not. This is just a terrific movie. Number 2, Candyman. Helen Lyle is a student who decides to write a thesis about local legends and myths. she visits a part of town where she learns about the legend of Candyman, a one-armed man who appears when you say his name 5 times in front of a mirror. Of course, Helen doesn't believe all this stuff, but the people of the area are really afraid. When she ignores their warnings and begins to investigate the places that he is rumoured to appear, a series of horrible murders begin. Could the legend be true? Candyman is possibly the best horror movie that came out of the 90s, that Tony Todd just created this mythological entity in the form of Candyman, one of the best villains to ever to appear in a horror movie. And he doesn't appear for such a longest time in this movie. It really delves into a culture, a group of people and their legends and myths, and it has this outsider coming in who has this unknown connection with this killer. Could it be that she's a reincarnation of his lost love? The movie tackles that kind of tangent, as well as creating some horrible bloody set pieces. Like I said, you get a magnificent performance from Tony Todd as Candyman, and this is one of those movies that just hypnotizes me every time I watch it. It lures it in with this amazing score that is just unlike anything from any other horror movie, giving me great characters that are rich and fully formed, giving me a bad guy that has a legacy, that has this captivating nature about him, and creating a fantastic masterpiece of a horror movie. Number 1, In the Shadow of the Moon. In 1988, Philadelphia police officer Thomas Lockhart, hungry to become a detective, begins tracking a serial killer who mysteriously resurfaces every 9 years. But when the killer's crimes begin to defy all scientific explanation, Locke's obsession with finding the truth threatens to destroy his career, his family, and possibly his sanity. In the Shadow of the Moon is one of the better Netflix movies that I've discovered recently. I was hooked when I put this one on. The great character played Boyd Holbrook is just a great character, and this movie has a really interesting conceit. Every 9 years it jumps, and you get this character aging. You get an idea of how his life has changed as these strange murders start to happen again. I love police procedurals. It has this nice science fiction element to it as well. The direction is perfect, and it's one of these movies that you skip by. The name's kind of strange, the poster's kind of uninspired, but the movie has this amazing content that I don't want people to miss out. Directed by the great Jim Mickle, who's doing some fantastic work these days. This is a movie not to be missed. So there we have it, 10 fantastic movies for you to check out this month on Netflix. I hope you find something there that you're going to love, or maybe something that you hadn't given a chance and you're going to give it a shot. I'd love to know your thoughts on any of these movies, or if there's anything else I've missed off my list, let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next month for another top 10. Thanks for watching.